Welcome to Genesis 003. Here is something you may not have expected to read. Each male in the lineage from Adam to Noah was given a name that has a meaning that if you took those meanings and put them together, you would have Adam as man, Seth, appointed, Enosh, mortal, Kenan, sorrow, Mahalalel, blessed one, Jared shall come down, Enoch, teaching, Methuselah, his death shall bring, Lamech, the despaired, and Noah, rest and comfort. Put all those together, and you get man, appointed, mortal, sorrow. The blessed one shall come down teaching. His death shall bring the despaired rest and comfort. We'll do that again. Man appointed, mortal, sorrow. Blessed one shall come down teaching. His death shall bring the despaired rest and comfort. Only God could tell you through names of the coming of Jesus. If that isn't proof that God was not stumped by Adam's sin, I don't know what will. Now that all that is said, let's go back to the understanding how the next group of events could even happen. Here is where things go wrong. God's archangel, who is in charge of the worship of God, Lucifer, was slowly feeling left out. Iniquity was found in him, Isaiah 14:12. He found himself kicked out of heaven. Jesus said in Luke 10:18, I saw what happened. Also Revelation 12 and Ezekiel 28. The serpent was created with the ability to speak. The serpent spoke to Eve. Romans 5:12 points this out. After Adam and Eve were created, Satan now found a way to regain his authority by deceiving Eve and getting her to go against God. And so he did. Even Eve then followed through and offered same to Adam, and he partook. 1 Timothy 2. Eve was deceived. Adam was not. Adam just followed and disobeyed God. Did he have a choice? Yes. Did he know what would happen if he partook of the fruit? You shall surely die. Upon this action, their eyes were opened and they found they were naked. It is my belief that in their natural, unsinned state, they were saturated with Shekinah glory. This is a symbol for God's dwelling among his people, as seen in the cloud, fire, and the temple. Learn how the Shekinah glory appeared in the Old and New Testament, and what it means for us today. In this glory, which was endowed to them by God, their sight was on heavenly prospects. They didn't know of this because they had no reason to. Once they partook of the fruit, that glory was doused, and they saw each other now in their physical sense. This was unnerving to them, as they saw themselves as naked and ashamed. No other animal, which by definition, fundamentally, we are a living organism that feeds on organic matter, typically having specialized sense organs and nervous system and able to respond to stimuli, has ever thought of themselves as being naked. No animal has ever sought to have a covering put on them. What was once natural to us has become a shame. If there were a natural turn of events, more animals would want adornment. They were created by God to be naked and unashamed, because they were adorned with Shekinah glory and needed nothing else. To have lost it means to have lost God's protection. This is why God told Adam, "You shalt surely die." They then tried to hide from God. Psalm 139, yeah, right. This is why a child doesn't care for diapers and would just as soon run free. To be unattired is now considered a sin by man. This is part of what Adam and Eve lost, partaking of the fruit. It is now a shame. What a shame. God came to walk with Adam in the cool of the day and found Adam hiding. Not that you can hide from God. God now had to come up with something to appease Adam, so they would carry on this conversation so God could explain what they have done. The Shekinah glory is gone. God had to make them coverings. Eve soon gave birth to Cain. Cain was a tiller of the field. Next was Abel, a shepherd. The sons brought an offering to God. Cain's was not accepted. At the end of days, God gave them a set amount of time for them to bring a sacrifice to atone for the sins started by their parents. Cain's offering was denied. Cain's offering was so full of I. Look at what I have grown. Look at what I have done. Look what I have laid out. There was no sacrifice. Abel gave a blood sacrifice. The quality may not have been the first or the best. It was just an offering of what was available. Cain was angered. God asked why he was angered. Matthew 5:15. Cain was so wrought with evil against his brother that he killed him. God came to Cain to find if Cain knew where his brother was. Where is your brother? Am I my brother's keeper? Cain basically took on the seed of Satan. See Jude 11. It is full of eyes. God curses Cain. He shall be a vagabond. A mark shall be placed on him so that he would not be killed by anyone. The mark is unknown, but not the first time God has ever placed a mark on somebody. See Ezekiel 9 and Revelation 7. Cain went out and went to the land of Nod, east of Eden. Cain knew his wife, which was likely a sister, because the population of the earth wasn't that big, and Adam lived to 800 years old, which meant many children, grandchildren, and so on. This was not unusual at that time, as Abraham married his half-sister. There are other cases. Cain built a town and called it after his son Enoch. Here is where things get interesting. Genesis 6, 1 through 4. The sons of God were known as Nephilim. Take note that it also says, and also after. The Nephilim were around quite possibly after the flood, because the DNA of the Nephilim was in one of the wives of the sons of Noah. There were many battles fought against giants to take over land that didn't belong to them. Moses and Joshua ran into them, known as Anakim and Rephaim. Please remember those two names. These angels were cast to the earth with Satan, and in time saw the daughters of men, and they were beautiful, and the Nephilim went into them and produced giants and men of renown, as in Hercules and others. These offspring were known as Anakim and Rephaim. I can't speak any more on this because, again, it isn't in the Bible. God told Joshua to destroy entire populations in the land of Canaan. The 12 spies went out by Moses revealed that the Anakim were giants. Joshua went to Bashan, ruled by Og, the king of the Amorites. Og was the last of the Rephaim. Remember, the Rephaim were the offspring of the sons of God. They were giants. Amos 2:9. Joshua's battle was successful and the people were destroyed. The Anakim lived among them, and that's why God wanted them destroyed. The world became so overrun with them that their DNA was starting to creep into man's DNA and potentially into Jesus' DNA. This had to be stopped. More Nephilim were located in Gath, which is where Goliath was and where David took him down. This DNA was in one of the wives of the sons of Noah. This is why they appeared after the flood and have been found since. Some are in the Guinness Book of Records. 27 June 1940, an 8-foot giant. These giants weren't as vicious. Jesus' DNA was untainted, as his DNA was from Moses to Shem, and his wife, who was Abraham to Shem, and his wife, who was also pure. The next reading deals with the book of Enoch, and things written in the book of Enoch is written about the Bible, but not put in. It is interesting, but not detailed. See you in Genesis 004.